Well, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. This is Robert Gabriel. Thanks so much for joining. I have Kim with us on the line. She's going to be helping me when I need help, just like it happened a minute ago. This is my contact information. Happy end of year. In this seminar, anything you learn, you need to verify yourself. Micro cannot be held responsible for any loss of business or data. In today's seminar, we're going to learn about best of year-end reports. And I'm going to also introduce you to the new KPI dashboard if you have not seen it yet. So we're going to start with the new KPI dashboard. So a dashboard is something that we always been craving for in any software that you ever use. You always want to have dashboard. Numbers are the key points for measuring in any business. And as we always say, what's not measured is not managed. So Lytec has two types of dashboards. It has a financial dashboard and it has a patient encounter dashboard. So the financial dashboard, you will see what you have there. It will show you how much you charged, you're charging for the month, how much you charge year to date, and how much you could adjust it, how much payment you got, and what percentage they are, how much percentage are in the AR. Those are key figures or key numbers. We call that KPI. You always want to keep an eye on that, and this is how you're supposed to measure your business. We're running a practice. It doesn't matter if you are a billing service or your doctor's office. It is a business at the end, and you need to measure numbers. You need to measure your staff and yourself on how you're performing. And of course, there's nothing better to measure than how much money you're charging and how much money you're collecting, and how is your AR and how much you're adjusting. Those are key financial points that we always need to think about, and we always need to measure. And what's not measured, it's not managed. So we do need to manage that to do better. We always want to do better. Okay. The other thing is going to be another dashboard is going to be the patient encounter dashboard. So will show you how many visits encounters you have this period versus last year or last period. You get to compare whatever period you want. Then you also have a percentage of the missed appointment or the canceled appointment and the average charge per visit. That's always a good thing to know, is for every patient that comes into the door, what is your average visit value? Some people call that an invoice. Some people call it an encounter. Some people call it a visit. Whatever you want to call it, it's important to know that. Now, how to turn those things on, and you will open your Lytec. You will go under your admin, and you will go under your user preference. And in the user preference, this is the new area for the dashboard. So this is the patient dashboard, and this is the practice financial dashboard. Now, unfortunately, only can see one dashboard at a time, but this is per user. So maybe the one manager or the doctor can see the financial, or the other person that maybe at the front desk, it's important for them to see what is the cancellation and how many missed appointment, and kind of like get a measure of that. So if you don't care about, normally it's set to none, and you get to pick only one financial dashboard. And if you do that, once you log in, once you get into Lytec, you will see the dashboard popping up on the screen. You can minimize it and move on with your day. Okay, any questions? So if you have a question, you have two ways of asking the question. You can unmute yourself, and I would love to hear your voice. You get to ask the question yourself. If you rather type the question, or you don't have a microphone connected to your connection, just type it and Kim will read the question for me. Okay, let's move on. Now, getting into reports. This report is an add-on report. There's a package of report that we normally include with our Lytec Cloud. So for you that don't know what Lytec Cloud is, a Lytec Cloud where you have Lytec is hosted, and you don't need to buy Lytec upfront. You pay a monthly fee. The majority of clients are using Lytec Cloud now, where it's including support and training and the license for the software and all that. So we throw in on top of the subscription of Lytec, you throw in the additional report. So that report comes with 12 different reports, maybe more. But this is one of my favorite. I want to show that for end of year report. So this will show me how many patient chart, how many primary insurance, the patient code, this is like whatever filter you filtered for. So if there's a filter, it will show up here, because it's a lot of times people will look at the report and they run that report again and the numbers don't match or the numbers are different. And by knowing what filter you filtered on, so this particular report or this package of report shows you on top what did you filter for. Then over here, it just shows you by insurance, how many claims, what is the percentage of the charges, and what's the dollar amount, and what the percentage of the dollar amount. And of course, everything adds up to 100%. Then how many payments you got and how much adjustments you got. Then it breaks it down by payer in a pie that shows you who's your biggest payer. And we all respond to graphic a lot better than numbers. So this graphic shows you here who is your top payer. Moving on is now, this is a standard report that regardless of which package of the Lytec you have, cloud or standard, or we call that on-premise, that you have this report. So what I done is I put the name of the report at the bottom. So this is monthly summary. So means when you go to Lytec, you go to a report and you go to the monthly summary section, you go to summary, then you have here executive collection summary or monthly summaries right here. So this is the monthly summary. So that's the same report that I have on my screen. And this particular report shows you how many new patients you got. That's something very important to know. Now I'm calling those reports end of year report, but I just wanted to get your attention because a lot of people try to end your year. But you should be running those reports all the time. It just happened to be, I'm showing my favorite report at the end of the year. So this is how many new patients you got, what is the attritions number, and how many came from referral. So those are very important data to have. So it's showing me that by provider. So in this fake practice, I have 6 providers and I see the data based on provider. And then it will show me how much collection. Now this is a fake practice, so I don't have really number, how much I charged, how much I collected, and what is the average AR days. This is important. Of course, you never want to see what a number that I'm seeing here. The average AR, what does that mean is, let's say if you have 100 patients per month, I'm just making up numbers, and let's say you collect from, some you collect with in 1 week, some you collect within 2 weeks, some you collect in 10 days, some you collect in a month, and some you collect in 2 months, some you don't collect, okay? You just, maybe neglect it. So the average AR, that means how the average claim, how many days it stays in the account receivable. That means some people call that aging. So what's the average aging before you collect them? In my opinion, I think you should be around 30 days, 30, 45 days. Anything longer than that is long. Now, it depends if your billing is workers' common no fault or you're billing, straightforward medical claims. So it depends, of course, on the nature of your billing, but you need to know what's an acceptable number, and you need to measure yourself. You need to brag to your manager, to your boss about what your numbers are, and keep improving those numbers regardless of your billing company, or you are a staff member, or maybe you're the doctor and you want to know to run your business. It's a business after all. What's not measured is not managed. So you do need to measure what I'm showing you here. So this way you can always do better by measuring and keep improving. But if you don't, can you imagine, I'm probably the last person who will talk about that. But can you imagine if we don't weigh ourselves, we have no idea if we're gaining weight or we're losing weight, and you just have no idea. We all kind of weight ourselves, and we have a target that what we need to be, and we always need to manage that target. Then moving on to the next report here. So this one it shows me month by month. So this one, again, it's summary report, yearly summary. So same area, yearly summary. And it shows me month by month how much I'm charging. And if you do any inventory, debit adjustment, refunds, take chargeback, patient payment, insurance payment, credit adjustment. So there's a difference between a debit adjustment and a credit adjustment. And the one is a positive, one is a negative. When can I have a positive adjustment is, let's say, if you charging like a return check or any kind of fee or interest or anything like that, it might become debit adjustment, where a credit adjustment is a negative balance. Let's say you charge an insurance company $100 and you get paid $80 and you adjusted to $20. So one is a negative. The positive is when you're actually adding a fee to the account. If you are a plastic surgeon in many states, I think all states, we need to collect sales tax for the cosmetic procedures, and this particular report does account for the sales tax. And also we have the managed care. Now, even if you don't do managed care or you don't do sales tax, or you still have some important data here by showing you month by month how much you charge, how much you adjusted, and how much take back you have. So this is important data to have month by month. Then the next report, this report I don't have data for because I don't have a real practice for HIPAA purpose. I cannot show you a real practice, but this is very important. This shows me patient by patient, how much I charge, how much they stay in. So the other one is by payer, and this one is by patient. Average days in AR, minimum amount and maximum amount per patient. So, and it also shows me the responsible party, how much money responsible for the patient, how much money responsible for the insurance. And again, that report comes from summary report, executive collection summary. The next report here it's by payer. It will show me how much money I have for the primary, the secondary, and tertiary, if any. Most people don't have a lot of tertiary, but they do exist. How much payment, what's the percentage, how many claims that I have outstanding, and what percentage does it overall that it does for my practice. Again, this is not realistic data because this is a demo data that I don't have much data in it. I don't have real charges and real payment. So those are like placeholders numbers. The next report and final report, this is procedure code analysis summary. So knowing what CPT code you have in your practice, how many units you do, what is the percentage of each unit or each CPT code you bill, how much you charge, and how much you collect payment, how much you adjust. And if you do see that procedure or you perform that procedure in the facility or the location, maybe you go to 5 nursing homes or you go to 3 hospitals, and you can see the location here by location if location is applicable here. And again, this report comes from analysis report, procedure code summary. And now there's tons of other reports, but those are my favorite reports. I wanted to highlight them. I wanted to remind you there's KPI in your that you can turn dashboards on and make sure that we're managing and we're measuring the business. It is a business after all. I want you to all be sound and healthy financially. We don't want to keep a big AR, or don't want to lose of timely filing, or we don't want to lose for anything else. So the only way that we can save that is by measuring and manage. So now it's time for Q&A. If you thought of a question later on, you can email me or you can call me direct. If there's no questions, I want to thank you so much for your time. I want to wish you a happy end of year, healthy, financially, and everything else, emotionally, physically. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. And thank you so much for your business. And if you need to reach out to me, here's my contact information. Thank you so much and have a wonderful rest of the day.